Hi, everyone. This is Michael Condon representing the TooMedToo's Star Wars Network. We've got your fix. And this is TooMedToo's Bacta tank. I think it's number 37. I never remember what number it is, but I'm usually pretty close, if not right on. But yeah, I think it's 37. And to just start off really quickly, it is brought to you by the Patreon, the TooMedToo Patreon. We have the likes of Chris from Kentucky, Heidi Fetter, Rural Farm Boy, and Kylo Customs. If you'd like to join them, you can go and check out the tiers and pick the one that suits you best and help support the channel. Because as we all know, unless you're one of the 1% of the 1%, YouTube doesn't pay. So it's just a hobby that costs a little bit of money. But anyways, enough about that. Let's get right to the good stuff. Tonight, our featured guest, chances are you might like them. It all depends, how you feel from a certain point of view. I should have actually put a little bit more effort into that and come up with something better.
I thought it was great. I like it.
Adam, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Hey, you said that tonight's guest was like good stuff. When does the good stuff get here?
Cam Ray is in the chat as we speak.
Okay, all right. That'll do.
But you've had an eventful week at least.
Yeah. We've starting with Saturday. Saturday was interesting. We had that debate with Cam. Speaking of Cam, so we had that going on. That was a ton of fun. And then Josh and I went to record our show on Saturday, and something happened, and it was just gone when I went to edit Saturday night. So, yeah, it's me, Cam. It's that Adam. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been an eventful week, and I was telling you before, I'm actually now dog sitting at my aunt's house, so I'm a little bit out of my element here. I'm on my laptop with a portable mic, so.
Yeah. Since I moved offices or made an office, it's just Delilah doesn't usually like to come sit with me. And I have a lamb skin, like you people have bearskin rugs. I have a lamb skin fleece for her bed for in here. Oh, okay. And she doesn't like it. She won't lay on it. But Danielle's out of town.
Just the way it feels, or what's wrong with it?
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But Danielle's out of town for a little while, and last night she hopped off the bed and came and laid on that. So she's just all sorts of. She's all completely backwards right now, and there's nobody here, so I don't even know who she's barking at.
Yeah.
Probably Cam. She's reading Cam's messages.
That's probably accurate.
All right, you go attack whatever that is and come back.
Our dog, I wasn't home last night, but my wife let our dog out at 3 a.m. and overnight, and apparently there was a possum right in our backyard, and they got into a fight with this possum. So my wife's out there yelling and swearing at 3 a.m. and waking everybody up, and that was an adventure.
All right, yeah. So tell us a little bit about this. This recording from Saturday, not the one you don't have, the video that got posted.
Okay, sure. It started, I believe Cam started this.
Cam usually starts.
Cam does that stuff, but he posted a campaign video, just kind of playing off of the debate, the real debate a few weeks ago, and he took the pineapple pizza route with it. And it just kind of snowballed from there, a couple, one of the listeners of our show that's actually not really into the Star Wars community, he got into it, and a few of the Star Wars shows or Star Wars friends that we have in common, they got into it too, and it just kind of went from there. It I woke up to a Twitter DM one morning. Actually, two of them. They apparently started planning this debate, and then they kind of asked me to jump in as a moderator. And of course, I was game. So that led to it was probably about a week and a half of just kind of back and forth and leaking these videos that Cam was putting out, and just really kind of riffing on the American political scene right now. But then it all culminated in a debate. Saturday morning on the From a Certain Point of View Twitter channel. Cam says it became a third full-time job. It really did. I was involved in it, but I wasn't really doing a lot of the campaigning or videos or leaking or any of that type of stuff. But seeing everything that everyone else was putting into it, creating brand new Twitter accounts for this thing, it was insane. It was just a week of pure craziness, but it was just all fun. It was they were kind of at each other's throats, but you could kind of tell it was tongue in cheek, and it was just a few people just having a great time, and then people started joining in, and then this debate. Give you a little bit of behind the scenes on it. Cam and the rest of us had a couple kind of beats of where we wanted to go, but then in between all that, it's all ad-libbed. It's all just kind of off the cuff, just having fun. Trying to keep a straight face, which I fail miserably at. But man, I have not had that much fun or laughed that hard in a very long time. So it was just a blast. And if you haven't seen it, it's on our YouTube channel, and it's about an hour long, but it's worth the hour. It's very funny. It's very good.
Yeah, it ended up being very climactic.
Yeah, there's a little twist at the end there, and I'm not going to give away anything. No spoilers here. You got to go watch it. But it's there's a good twist and a good ending, and it all ended up in a pretty fun place.
All right. Yeah, it was entertaining, and I've just been so busy with other things and health that usually I'm the guy that's posting 10 or 12 podcasts a day, and
I don't know how you do it. Even when you're not busy, I don't know how you do that.
Well, because it used to be at work, I'd listen to. I mean, I would never listen to them at work, but at double speed, and you listen to 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, well, double speed helps. Yeah.
You can build your way up to double speed really easily. It's
it takes. I tried just to go straight to double speed, and it's like I can't. I had to back it off. So I do 1.3, 1.4.
Yeah, but then after you get to 1.3, 1.4, it becomes second nature to you, and then you can put it up to 1.5, 1.6, and then like the Aussies and the Brits took a little time to get used to with that. But other than that, it was it's really not a problem. Now, like with books, I can do books at 1.25.
See, I have to do normal time on books because I even have a hard time sometimes with audiobooks just taking all the details in. So I need to do that as close to real time as possible.
Yeah, well, that's books, and I don't always do it like that. It depends on who's reading the book. All the books are different. So some of the books are 1, some are 1.25. The younger books can usually go a little bit faster because it's a little bit slower, and Thrawn because the words, they have big words and names and crazy shit that that's a 1.
Especially Ascendancy.
That's a read along. That's a read along while I listen.
Mm-hmm. Ascendancy would be that way too. The brand new one. It's like there's so many new things in that I couldn't even imagine listening to that audio. I had a big problem with Alphabet Squadron just because there's a lot in those first couple chapters of both of those books, really. That if you're not really, really into it, really paying attention, it's hard to pick up.
The first time I did Alphabet Squadron, I wasn't a big fan of it. For the same thing, it's so much information, so much detail, and brand new characters, and you don't know anybody. And usually when it's something like that, it's one of the young adult readers or whatever. The one of the different levels, not the you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's easier to follow along because it's meant for a lower grade level, or however you want to put it. So it's easier to follow along with the new characters, and they only give you a couple new characters. With Alphabet Squadron, you have 20 new characters.
Yeah,
they're going here, they're going there, they're skipping time jumps and
a lot of those characters like right up front. It's not. I mean, some of them gradually get introduced, but there's so many new characters, important characters, like right off the bat that if it's hard to listen. For me, it's hard to listen in an audio format.
I gave it a second listen.
Okay.
When the second book of the trilogy was coming out.
Okay.
I listened to it about a week before, and it was much better. But I also did it differently. Like I was saying, for me being in New York City, it's easy because even though I'm not that far from work, when I was working, you're waiting for the subway. So that could be 10 or 15 minutes, both ways, and then 10 or 15 minutes on the train both ways, and walking the dog. And I have waterproof earbuds, so those go in the shower with me. So I'm listening to the book while I'm taking a shower or whatever, and doing the dishes and just whatever. So, just like normal walking around, normal day stuff, that's 3 or 4 hours right there.
Sure.
With just whatever's going on. So, like that's how I'm able to get things done in the podcast. But I've just been so busy. And then, the other venture that I'm in is I'm contracted with Live It, which is, it's basically the easiest way to describe it. It's like Instagram Live.
Okay. I was going to ask you to explain that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like Instagram Live, but you can't just go on there and stream. You have to be contracted. So like they have to, it's a lot of people that are like musicians or actors or things like that. There's something in the, like, it's called, I'm probably going to get this wrong. It's like backdoor or side door or something like that. It's like kind of like what actors put their stuff on, or musicians put their stuff on for people to find them.
Okay.
They find a lot of their talent on there, but then people come on and perform. But unlike Instagram or TikTok, you can't just go on there and do your stuff. You have to like apply or send in an audition. I didn't have to do that. They just looked at my YouTube and they're like, this guy knows how to talk. They didn't say whether or not they think I'm any good or not, but this guy just sits around and talks. He can do it on here too. So
yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
So it's like, and I do it as much as I want to, and it's one of those things. It's based off of likes and points and shares, and that's how.
Okay.
I get paid. So it's like today I was editing a video for Black Series that I had recorded about a month ago. It's just been sitting on my computer. I just hadn't gotten around to it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. It would have probably taken me an hour to do it if I was just doing it by myself. Mm-hmm. But it took me about 2.5 hours because I was talking to people how I was doing it and showing them, like, okay, you see this is how I'm doing it. So I was showing them how I edit. So people were watching me edit.
That's
cool. And then they were hitting the like button and, whatever that, then at the end of the month or whatever it is, that adds up to a paycheck coming in.
That's cool.
Which, right now is helpful for me because, I've been out of work sick since April, and I'm going to be out until at least the middle of November. I went to a different doctor today, and they were like, it's not, like I can't go to work because I can't. It's depending on what store they put me at or whatever. Some of them have stairs. I can't go up and down the stairs. I can't pick up a case of something and carry it, or a box and move stuff around. Because if I do, then I have to stop and take a couple minute break and make sure I'm all good. So it's like
right.
So when my month of medicine and everything is up in the middle of November, am I going to be better where I can go back to work, or am I going to be better where I don't have to use my inhaler every time I walk up a flight of stairs? So if that's what my doctor was saying today, I'm probably going to have to go for. I forget what she called it for the pulmonary one or whatever it was, but it's the same thing. Like if you have a heart attack, you go for physical therapy for your heart afterwards. She said, there's a good chance I'm going to have to do that, which means it's going to be another month. So, I mean, I might be back to work in the beginning or the middle of November, but it could be January or February, all depending on, how things go. But that's I had it a lot better than other people. There's a big spider. Well, hang on. See, this is what you get.
Spooky season.
All right, I'll clean that up later. Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not
no. Yeah, he's there for good now.
But it's like I mean, the story. But I had a cough for a day. I went to work and they had to call, and I had talked with the doctors and the nurses. Were like, no, you're okay to work. And I had it the next day, so I had to call in. And then after that, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without feeling like I was going to pass out. And that was it. So it just goes to show you without getting all into politics and everything, because it all comes up to it, it's just, it is what it is. And it's not just the numbers that have been messed up on both sides and the death rates. And it's like someone like me, how many people are there out there like me that, have months worth of lasting effects and whatever. And it's, people have it with their lungs, people have it with their heart, people have it with their nervous system and everything. So it's just, there's a lot more numbers that go into things that people don't look at and think about, but not trying to get into we'll save that for the septic tank. I'll start screaming and swearing about COVID then and politics, but all right. So you have a podcast.
I do.
You also do YouTube with it. From a certain point of view.
Yep, that's the one.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, we started this. Actually, we've been doing it about a year now. We're coming up on our year anniversary, and it's me and my friend Josh. We've known each other since high school, elementary school, actually. And I know he's been a huge Star Wars fan all his life. And then he just kind of approached me one time last fall and said, do you have any interest in doing a Star Wars podcast with me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. So kind of the impetus of our show was more that Josh saw The Last Jedi once and didn't like it that much. He went back the next day, saw it again, and it started to change for him. He actually really started to dig it after a second viewing. I could never get around to it, for something. There's something in that movie for me that doesn't click with me, So we've had that kind of disagreement, I guess. And we've remained friends. We still love talking Star Wars with each other.
How is that even possible?
I don't know. So that's the thing. You go anywhere, on the internet, and it doesn't seem like it's possible. You have two different opinions on a movie like that, and it's like you're supposed to be mortal enemies. So our idea for the show is we can talk about these things, and even our second show, we had that Last Jedi talk, and we can talk about movies, and we can disagree, and we can still be friends, So that's really kind of the idea behind our show in general. So
yeah, you have and you have an interesting show because. Like when I people will ask me, especially with Livid, and let me check out your YouTube channel or whatever. It's like, okay, well, Monday's kind of, I can't call it an interview because I talk way too much for it to be an interview. Monday's like the chat with a featured guest, which is, it's evolved because it used to be a free for all, and then the septic tank was a free for all too, but that was a little bit more, not safe for work, and it's kind of evolved to where it's like, okay, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and do. Like a featured guest or whatever, which, it could be another podcaster. It could be a friend that's never done any content creating. There's been actors and authors on it. So, it just really depends on, what it is. And then the septic tank is just kind of, we're just going to talk about whatever we want. And it's usually Star Wars, but God only knows. And there's been a few that could have stayed on YouTube, but out of respect of people that were on the show, I pulled them off because sometimes you get going and you forget you're on camera, and some people maybe some people in the entertainment industry kind of go a little bit too far and forget they're on camera and say some things, and it's like, yeah, you probably don't want that out there, okay? Or people are, it's not safe for work. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, so that's kind of where it is now. So it's you're getting tanked. That's what the great thing is.
That sounds like a Nickelodeon game show.
It could be. Watch your wife walk behind you. The bucket just hit you.
Yeah. We need to get Mark Summers on here.
Yeah. So when did your Star Wars nerdum take off? Because that's something that comes up too. I'll be like, well, normal people, and people get offended by that. I'm like, well, you're not normal. You're sitting, you're in a chat room on a Monday night when you should be watching Monday Night Football, or if you don't like Monday Night Football, there's this or that or whatever. I'm like, you're sitting in a chat room with a couple of guys talking about Star Wars, and so no, you're not normal. It doesn't make it a bad thing.
With that. No.
But no, like some people do get offended by that. It's like, well, you're not normal. You're a nerd. But there's nothing wrong with that. You need to love that and embrace it.
Everyone has their thing that they nerd out about. It's not just Star Wars. And I don't know why people get offended by that, but as far as me, like when it really kicked into high gear for me, it was probably middle school, like 7th, 8th grade. And I found out my library had Star Wars books, which I didn't know existed up until that point, So I took out a Star Wars book, and I was like, okay. And then there's more of these things. And then I found the Heir to the Empire trilogy, and I'm like, now this is getting serious. And it never really slowed down from there, to be honest with you. Then Clone Wars comes out, and actually I slept on Clone Wars initially, and that movie was pretty rough. So I slept on Clone Wars initially, but I was reading books all through that time. I was taking in as much of the EU back then as I could. So yeah, probably for me when it took off was middle school.
So you got the double whammy. You had you didn't like The Last Jedi, which I think The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie there is. It's the most Jedi of the Jedi movies, and that's what kind of what it's all about. And and then you got your world ruined when you found out that Legends is Legends. It's just fan fiction.
Kind of to a point. I mean, I still like to dive into Legends, and it for me the only sticking point with that is I just kind of wish that we'd get a little more Legends. They have that Legends banner, so use it, I guess. But I don't mind going back through Legends and checking it out and picking up the comics, or I even just picked up Dawn of the Jedi. I think that's what it's called, Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. It's just EU book that takes place like 25 some thousand years before A New Hope, and like really, really early days of Jedi stuff. So I still like going back into that, even if it's not canon. I still like to check it out. But yeah, double whammy is a little bit. And I was actually excited, to be honest. I was actually excited back when I found out what they were doing with Legends. I was actually like, okay, let's just start with a clean slate. I'm good with that. Let's just go with it. And see what it goes from there. And I've been a little disappointed with some of the canon stuff. I mean, there's been really great books, but I'm just a little disappointed that it hasn't felt like really major story points so far. But I mean, they're still both there for us to enjoy. That's kind of how I.
Well, look. I mean, yeah, that's my thing about it. It's no one's saying you can't like Legends.
Yeah, right.
But, and that's one of the hot debates that comes up too. Is well, it was canon, but a different canon. But George Lucas never considered it canon. But
it was messy.
Called it low level canon just so they could sell books and make money. Right. but it really never counted for anything.
Yeah, different.
So I mean, that's sort of like Pauline just said. Why is Legends fan fiction? And it's
more or less just kind of the way it was. I don't want to say shoved aside because that's not really what it was. It was just kind of like it was made so that it wasn't official story anymore. I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, but I mean that's that's another, like I said, another one of the great debates. It was never an official story.
Yeah, right.
Because you had no continuity. You would write a story, and then I would write a story. Pauline would write a story. They would have absolutely nothing to do with each other. They'd be about the exact same characters, but your Han Solo got killed. My Han Solo afterwards was still alive, and her Han Solo ran away with Chewbacca, and they got married before they had a polyamorous relationship with their space shuttle that ended up blowing up with them in the moon. And so you laugh, but that's
no, I know.
You laugh,
it was messy. There's no two ways about it.
That's really how it was. So it was, we all agree that there was some problems with the sequel trilogy with writing and continuity. I mean, it does flow together. I mean,
there's still problems with current canon and continuity. It's not totally 100% right. There's still things that overlap and things like that.
With Legends, it was
rough. It was I loved Legends, but I can't argue that. It was messy. It was rough. It needed something like this. It definitely needed a clean slate.
But that's where you get into Pauline. I know you've heard me talk about this, but this is the truth. Chewbacca got killed because a planet fell on him or a moon fell on him. Luke Skywalker pulls. This is another part going into it too. But Luke Skywalker fell in love with his spaceship or married his spaceship or whatever it was. But there were some really great things in there. And what's happening now with the people that are in charge or making stories or doing whatever, especially with the Mandalorian, you see them taking from bits and pieces, and you have 100 and I don't know how many books are. I'm just going to say 150. You have 150 books, 150 stories, and half of them are garbage, and then the other half, you got 75 left or whatever. Out of those 75, maybe 10 are amazing, and the other ones there's bits and pieces that are okay in the stories. I mean, just quick roundabout, that's just kind of how it is. So it's like it's really impossible to and my numbers could be off. It could be 120 and 80 of them are good or whatever, but so it's just
I know what you're saying.
To do it. So but now they're picking and choosing, and it's like if you like it, that's fine, that's great. If Disney sold, I mean, I don't know who would buy Star Wars. Maybe Apple, maybe Amazon. I don't know who else really could. For let's just say they buy it for $50 billion or something like that. So Disney's like, okay, fine, here you go, and they decide
we're getting into Dr. Evil level monies here.
We don't like the prequels. The prequels are no longer canon. We're making the 3 movies over. Fine, I'm going to tell them they're fucking idiots, but I'm still going to have those movies. I'm going to watch those movies. I'm going to enjoy them. And it's not going to. If somebody on Twitter tells me, well, it's not canon anymore, and I'm okay, fine. I still like them, so it doesn't really matter what.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. If Legends is your wheelhouse, then go for it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. And just like with other fan fiction, there's people who write stories for fan fiction, and they're good, and then they write another fan fiction and it's crap, or their first couple chapters are amazing, and then they just keep writing and rambling on, and it's garbage. Or vice versa. Like they just ramble on, and then their last couple chapters are really good. So, it just all depends on, what it is and what you like. I mean, just like some people, completely off the subject, but Stephen King. Some people like the original Stephen King when he was right under his pen name. Some people think that he kind of sold out afterwards with his modern stuff. Or was it his cocaine-fueled writing that made it so good because his mind didn't have time to skip a beat? It was just nonstop, and so it's all relative to what you like, and so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But all right, so you brought it up. We're going to talk about this. Last Jedi.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's hey, what do we got to talk about? Let's talk about Last Jedi. I mean, I already said I think it's the most Jedi of the Jedi movies. It follows A New Hope a lot with, Obi-Wan gives his life so that the people can go and try and do whatever their mission is or whatever they have to do. And Luke does the same thing. I think what a lot of the issue is with The Last Jedi is people were reading legends, and Luke was this, most powerful Jedi ever, and could pull spaceships, could be standing on a planet and pull spaceships out and flying by and whatever. And then they see him as just this, get off my lawn, grumpy hermit. And if from a psychological standpoint, which Star Wars is full of politics and religion and psychology, that it makes complete sense, because everything Luke does in his entire life in canon, he's defeated. He doesn't, yes, he saves his father, but his father still dies. Just it doesn't matter. He goes and he leaves and stops his training to go save Han, and what happens? It doesn't do anything. Like that whole part of the movie is pointless. I mean, from a plot standpoint, he didn't do anything. It's just a half hour of him being a failure. But
yeah,
so it's like, that's kind of like my, my point. So Adam, please explain to me why you don't like The Last Jedi.
For me, there's a lot of moments that feel like great Star Wars. And I'm thinking of with moments like the Yoda scene is amazing. It's very well done. Even the way Luke sacrifices himself, like you said, it's very Jedi. It's the most. That would be my aunt's clock. It would.
Is it a grandfather clock or a cuckoo clock or
no?
I didn't hear a cuckoo, but
no, it's not. She likes lighthouses. It's this clock that makes like different like foghorns or lighthouses all through the night. It's wonderful. So what was I saying? Oh, Luke sacrificing himself. That's definitely it's a very Jedi thing to do. I really don't have a problem with anything like that. But then there's all of these other little moments that really take me out of that movie. The humor never really felt right for me. A lot of it was kind of more modern. Like I'm thinking of like the Your Mama jokes at the beginning, things like that. Just it never. So a lot of that never really landed for me, and it took me out of the movie more than it helped. Some of it felt sci-fi that wasn't Star Wars. Like some of it felt like a really good like Star Trek movie almost. And I'm thinking of how bright and how bright the I'm blanking on the ship's name, but it felt a little bit too clean almost at sometimes. I could do without Canto Bite as a whole. Just cut the whole thing out and I'd be fine. So for me, there's basically what I'm saying is there's parts that I really like, but then there's other parts that take me out of it so much that I have a hard time with it. And that, that's not even mentioning the Luke stuff. The main Luke thing that I really get upset with is the lightsaber stuff. I don't like how he just tosses it aside. I really don't enjoy that aspect of it. And then I'll admit I enjoy Legends. I have enjoyed that version of Luke where he does become a successful Jedi Master and starts the Order again. And to kind of see the almost exact opposite of that, it wasn't my favorite thing. So that's kind of where I come from in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I understand. Like see, that's where, like, Cannibal Bite, I understand, and I understand why it was in there, and it's trying to show, like the growth of Finn, because he had never done anything before.
Yeah, see, for me, Finn actually kind of felt like he took a step back in that movie. It was like dealing with the same things that he dealt with in Force Awakens, and it just felt like a repeat for me.
But yes, but I mean, he goes and he goes in to the casino. If you've never been to a casino before, it's lights and everything, and it's great, and it's like casinos are fun, but you got to think about the people that are sitting at the slot machines, pissing and pooping in their pants, because they don't want to get up because they might hit that big jackpot and they don't want to lose it. So it's like
it's the next one, don't you know, Mikey? It's the next one. It's gonna be the big one.
It could be, but so it's like, but it's the whole. Trying to show that once it comes to the big money, there's no sides. It's we're going to make planes for you, we're going to make planes for you, or weapons or ships, or whatever it is. I mean, so I understand.
That point for me also, like when I look back at like what Lucas was trying to do, like you have this movie where Star Wars, and it's supposed to be kind of like this thing where you have these like good guys and bad guys, and you're supposed to be able to tell like Vader's a good guy, and then Vader's the bad guy, and then you have the good guy knights, like the Jedi, of course. And that blurring of the lines, that was another moment that I was like, do we need to get that nuanced with things? And that was another one of those little moments for me. I thought that Benicio del Toro was kind of wasted with his character with DJ. I thought there were so many cooler things you could do with a guy like Benicio del Toro, and
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the best movie in the world.
No, and I'm not trying to like change your mind or anything. I don't want to do that.
Oh no, I know.
And actually, there's some things that I really
like. If you asked me like, what's the best Star Wars movie and why, it would be The Last Jedi, because it's the most Jedi of the Jedi movies, and it teaches you, what we never knew. We never knew what the Jedi were supposed to be. We heard stories, kind of, and even when you see them in the prequels, they've, their religion's already been bastardized, and it's been corrupted, whether it's been corrupted from within or been corrupted from within because of Palpatine and Plagueis, and that's like I just highlighted all the messages we had while we were talking, and the one was with Cam Ray.
I saw what Cam
made a valid point about Plagueis needed to be canon. And I agree with them, but you know what? It doesn't matter that it's not, because I mean it kind of is. You get like, I don't know. It kind of is canon, even though it's not, because it came out a couple months before it would be canon, and then we know the things that happened in the book happened in the movie, and the Phantom Menace, or the end of them. So, well, just the way that things are being set up, they're trying to go the political route to cripple the Jedi and start the war
like that. Okay.
So yeah, not with the midichlorians, but that's a whole other thing too, where you take the story that came out in the comic book, and they're like, well, we need to clarify. You people are reading this comic book wrong.
Right.
Anakin was not created by Plagueis and Palpatine.
Right.
He was created by the Force because of what they were doing. So yes, they are the reason that he was created, but they're not. They didn't create him. So it's kind of like the Force balancing. And then that's where the story groups come out, and that's where it just gets into the whole, oh well, this person. It's like, well, whatever, man. You own a car. If you own a house and you build the house yourself, and you sell the house to me, and I decide I want to remodel it, you lost your say. You can say I don't like the way the house looks anymore. It was better before, but it's not your house. So tough shit, dude. Like,
yeah. That's why I really also don't take much stock in, and it kind of hurts to say, but I really don't take much stock in what George says anymore about the sequels or anything like that. It's not really his call,
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the whole point. When you decide to sell it, it's not yours anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's Cam. Cam giving little shots. Cam said he changed his evil ways, but he's just still there throwing them little jabs. Just saying. But yeah, I mean, like that just gets into, and it's, I mean, the same way. If I bought the house from you, you're like, these are my ideas that I had for the house. I'm like, those are really good ideas. Right. I'm going to remodel it. Those are really good ideas. When I put on an addition, that's what I'm. You know what? Maybe I'm going to do that. That sounds good. I'm going to, thanks for your blueprints. And then I'm like, you know what? I changed my mind. I want to do it completely like this. And then you get mad at me. Like, I gave you the blueprints. Well, you know what? You gave me the house too, but you got $4 billion for it. So shut up and deal with it. And I'm not saying shut up to George. I'm just saying,
it's an expensive house.
Everybody has different opinions. So, like, look, but I mean, look at even when he was making the movies. When he was making Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, and even when he had his wife to keep him in line, and he had Kasdan to keep him in line, and the other people to keep him in line, and say, "What are you doing?" And we all know the stories of the first time that Star Wars was screened for the executives. They walked out of there laughing, and he was heartbroken and he was a failure. And then they put then his wife goes in and re-edits it, and we should move this around and kind of change this or do whatever. And here we go with the music, and it's like, oh my god, now it's amazing. Which is like I usually get into the like to get in the conversation, like, who is more important to Star Wars, George Lucas or Marshall Lucas? Because without George Lucas, we wouldn't have Star Wars. Right. But without Marshall Lucas, we wouldn't have Star Wars.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, you could never have a answer to the question, because there is no answer. Right. And if you didn't have John Williams, there would be no movies. So Pauline,
about the so specifically, if I was going to pull out things, I really liked the Yoda scene. I liked Yoda's message in that movie. I liked. I mentioned I liked how Luke actually did sacrifice himself. So even with that, even with my gripes about Luke, I like his sacrifice at the end. It's the peaceful way to do what he needed to do. So I like that. It's one of those things where, like, as I watch it more, some of the stuff that I don't like just kind of just fades to the background, and then some of the stuff that I do like kind of comes out a little bit stronger, So it's not like I don't hate The Last Jedi. It's not even at the bottom of my least favorite Star Wars movies, but it just wasn't my favorite of the sequels. For me, I would watch The Force Awakens all day long if I was going to pick a sequel movie.
And so now, all right. So while we're on the third one, what do you think about the third one?
I liked it, and so, and I know that's probably a controversial opinion in itself. I didn't think that it backtracked on The Last Jedi as much as it was blamed for. When the whole Rey Nobody thing came up the first time, I think the first question on everyone's mind is, was Kylo Ren lying to her? That's what I was wondering. Is that really the answer here? And then we find out that he wasn't really lying, but he didn't have the whole vision. That's kind of what I thought was going on, and that's what happened. The Palpatine thing, Palpatine coming back, I didn't mind that at all. And for me, it was explained well enough in the movie how he got back. I keep going back to Lord of the Rings with this, because Lord of the Rings, you have this sorcerer in Sauron that survives being killed. And at the front of that movie, the only explanation you need about how that happened is that the will of Sauron endured. That's all you really get, So for me, having Palpatine survive by cloning and dark magic, that's fine for me. In a fantasy or science fiction fantasy, whatever you want to call Star Wars, for me, that kind of explanation in a movie is fine. And bringing Palpatine back with this being the end of the Skywalker story and all that makes sense. I'm good with that. So for me, I actually enjoyed Rise of Skywalker a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I like where it brought things to an end.
Yeah, see, I'm one of those that I'm kind of the same way as you. It's probably, for me, one of the least favorite of my movies. But it's also the newest one. So I didn't, if it was up there with my favorite ones, it would be one of the favorite ones. I've never seen a movie and been like, or a Star Wars movie like, it's kind of in the middle. It's like I either love it or it's not in the love pile. And then after you viewing it over and over again and having conversations, it kind of grows on you.
Yeah.
But it was a wild ride. The first 45 minutes. Everything was crazy.
And then, but the thing is, like when I went back and watched it again, it didn't feel like, and I don't know if it was just because I was ready for it, but it just didn't feel as frantic,
Yeah. Well, I saw it, I think 3 or 4 times in the theater, and then maybe about 10 or 15 times not in the theater. In the first week or two that it was out.
Right.
And it was just like I'd seen it a bunch of times over. Then, of course, when it wasn't in the theater, it wasn't as good a quality, so it was more out in the background a bunch of times or whatever, not sitting down and actually paying attention. But it's I don't have a problem with Palpatine coming back. I think they should have done it differently. I don't have a problem with a lot of things that happened in the movie. I have issues with the execution. And I know
for me, it kind of felt like JJ's episodes 8 and 9 in one movie. It kind of felt like this is what
my thing that it needed to be 2 movies. There was so much they were trying to jam in there to finish it off with what they were doing that it needed to be easily 2.5 hour movies. They could have done 2, 3.
I would have been okay, and this isn't a very Star Wars thing to do. I would have been okay if it was a 3-hour movie. A 3.5-hour movie, just make it an endgame thing and just do a marathon finale. I'd be okay with that.
I'd have no issues with that either. But then, you have, that one section out there that, feels like they were lied to and everything. And it's like, well, it's not your story. No one deserves anything. Their characters, no characters don't deserve.
Right.
Like you can get along with them. You can relate with them. You can, feel their pain because, you have conflict inside of you also when you understand the conflict that, Adam Driver's character and Kylo Ren is going through. But, Ben Solo, like the whole Ben Solo deserved better. Dude, he's a fucking character. He doesn't deserve anything. You can say, I like this or I didn't like it. But saying someone deserved, a human being, an actual real person can deserve something. Adam Driver's character Adam Driver deserved a better character. That's different than the character deserving something. But yeah, so that's just where I know Pauline's kind of she's not a big Tross fan for the Ben Solo aspect, I believe.
And that's fine. Like
but
the gripes that people have with the movie, I actually I totally understand it, and I don't think that's wrong. Just for me, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think with the Ben Solo thing, this is going to get deep, but I think people view, and I'm not saying this because of Pauline, but I think people view death as a punishment always, and I don't think it's meant to be that, especially in stories like this. Even Anakin's death, I don't believe that was a punishment for him, or I don't think that was a failure. I think that was just, that's how that character's story has to end. I would have actually liked to see Ben survive and maybe kind of see where he could maybe like fit into this galaxy after everything that he had done. I thought that would have been maybe an interesting thing to explore in books and comics and things like that. But him making that choice to save Rey, I think that's more what we have to look at instead of just that Ben didn't survive.
Yeah, and that's where it gets into, the extra movie they should have made, or there I go saying should have. I just think it would have ended up being better if they would have done that. But you take the normal people like my father. I've talked about it a million times. My father's seen every Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's seen most of them in the theaters. I've seen all of the sequel or all of the Disney era ones with him in the theater. Mm-hmm. Even though I've lived, in New York and he's been in Buffalo. It just happens to be that I'm home for my birthday, which is in February, or I'm home for Christmas. It just happens, and we walked out of the theater. I said, so what do you think about it? He goes, it was a good movie. And I was like, okay, if you could say there was one thing that's wrong with the movie, what would it be? He's like, there's no sound in space. And then he's like, I'm sorry, it's the old Air Force mechanic in me, coming out, or the science guy or whatever it is, and like that's his movie. And then I started proud with the questions. Well, what about this? What about it? Well, what about Palpatine coming back and how they can? What about it? Well, don't you want to know why? They told us that's how it is. It's Star Wars. Like, okay, so and my buddy just saw it for the first time maybe a week or two ago. He just got Disney Plus, and he's like, "Hey, is that new Star Wars movie on?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay." And he's like, "I was like, so what?" He's like, "It's my favorite Star Wars movie."
See, that's what I took my mom to see it in the theater, and my mom is, she's not like us, she's not on podcasts, but she sat in that theater and she had a blast, and she came out and she was raving about that movie, She loved seeing Han Solo again. She loved the Han Solo scene. She had so much fun in that movie, and the things that we pick apart and dissect, which we can do that. That's great that we can do that. But that didn't matter to to your friend. It didn't matter to my mom. It was like they just had a blast watching that movie.
Yeah. So it's the normal people like it, and this is an argument I always have with Ro.
Is this for us, or is it for for normal people?
Who makes the money? Who makes the money? Ro
Right.
says that it's us nerds, and people are going to sit and talk about it. And I say no, it's the normal people, because if you look at box office and how things happen, and yes, get into other movies and people that threaten boycotts and this and that, and poor marketing for Solo and too close to the other movie, and just like so many things that happen. It still made almost $500 million or $450 million, whatever it was, as a failure. And if it didn't have to be made twice, it would have been half the budget. So it would have, made. If I could
fail like Lucasfilm fails, I'd be okay.
Yeah, man, that would be all right.
Yeah.
So it's just, but that's where, it's like, like Rose, I'm going to bring it up to Ro again. We're going to see if Ro watches this, which he probably isn't. But we'll see if he comments on it. I'll tell him that I talked about him. What time? Where's the time on here?
I don't know. It's like
53 minutes in, I talked about Ro and how he's always wrong about this. But he's like, well, how many people? How many Star Wars fans go and see it 20 times? Well, okay, even if in the movie theater it sits, for make the math easy, it sits 100 people, and there's 10 people that go see that movie 20 times, they're going to fill that movie theater twice. Being 200 people, but that theater is going to be filled, how many hundreds of times by just normal people, and everything in between there. So that's kind of where I come from it. We have toys and everything else too, so that's a whole other thing.
Right.
Collecting too, and
but
so that's pretty good. If you had to what's your favorite Star Wars movie? Do you have a favorite or your go-to, or?
It's always been Return of the Jedi for me.
Okay.
It's not very much. It's not one that I think people pick a lot, but it's always been Return of the Jedi. I love.
It goes usually like the consensus is Empire, Empire, A New Hope, and then Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. It's like there's some things. I love them all, and there's some things that I don't like, and
that's the thing. I remember you mentioned earlier, Rise of Skywalker is the newest one, and you haven't had time to really dive in and talk about it and pick it apart, that type of stuff. You think back to the prequels and how people hated those movies so much for so long, and now you go back and it's like, these are like God level movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think part of that is a generational thing, so we're seeing now people coming up and getting old enough to jump online and talk about growing up with the prequels and how that got them into Star Wars. In another 10 years, we're going to hear people saying the same things about these movies, and we're going to be far enough removed from these movies that we're going to go back and say, you know what? Maybe these aren't that bad. Maybe these are actually a lot of fun to watch. We just haven't had that time yet. We haven't had that separation yet.
And that's where, some people are, brought in by the Clone Wars. And
right.
Brought in by Rebels. And
I'll never forget. I was sitting in a baseball game years ago. Rebels was brand new on TV, and I just picked up on this conversation behind me, and I don't know if the kid was wearing a Star Wars shirt or something. I don't know, but him and the guy next to him just started talking. It was an older guy and like an 8 or 9 year old boy, and he was like, "Who's your favorite Star Wars character?" And this kid says Ezra Bridger, which is the first time I heard that name brought up in that scenario. And Rebels for him is the thing that's going to get him into these movies. And I just thought that was so cool to hear that answer from that kid. And, that just means that we're Disney or Lucasfilm, whoever you want to put it on, is doing something right,
Well, you look at it and it's supposed to be, according to George, it's for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it's for those
or whatever. Yep. So, that's who should have fallen in love with, in 77 should have fallen in love with Star Wars was teenage boys.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just not saying girls can't, not at all. Girls should fucking love Star Wars as much as boys. That's not at all what I'm saying, but I'm saying that's who was geared to, especially at that time. And then, who were the prequels geared to? The same thing. Because you had the young Anakin, you had little Anakin, then you had young Anakin and Padme, and they were that young teenage girls, to get them involved with it too, and then you have Clone Wars, you have young Anakin again, and you have Ahsoka coming in to bring in the young kids, and then the same thing with Rebels, and then the same thing with Resistance, which Resistance was geared much younger.
Right.
That's what the conversations I've had with people when they're like, but it's so childish. Like, well, yeah, it's geared towards a 12-year-old. It's geared towards an 8-year-old. So you need to go into watching it like an 8-year-old.
Right. It's like you're not going to go into Galaxy of Adventures and expecting,
Yeah. Just like when, I read all the books. So if it's a young reader, or it's for, 7th graders, I'm still going to read the book.
Did you read Freefall? The Poe Dameron one?
I did.
I actually had a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And I don't know if it's just one of those things where I had my expectations set right because I know going into it that it's not really a book for me. But I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, and it's like on my list. I haven't read them yet, but like the whatever is Pirates, whatever, like the Hondo Ohnaka book.
Yeah.
Pirates Prize, or I'm the name's wrong, but it's like there's like 6 or 8 of them. I have those on my Audible list, and I don't think I have them ordered yet. And I have about 10 things on my Audible list because I have the Audible subscription where every month I get 2 free. Or 2 books. It's $20. I get 2 books a month.
Right.
And there hasn't been a lot coming out, and I've pre-ordered stuff, and I got a nice little lineup there. So, I got to take a look and see, like, should I pay for it because it's only $8, or do I want to, I got 12 of them on there, 10 of them. I'm just going to go ahead and get them. But, that's trying to get that into my schedule too. If I haven't even picked up the Thrawn book, man. That's how far behind I am. But
I
just need a little bit of time, and I'll be able to kill that in, a day or two.
Yeah.
So I'm a few books behind. You and I were supposed to do a couple books, but just things.
Right.
Things didn't match up. But there's still always time. I got this book too. I just did a quick take a look at this video video.
Oh, sweet.
It's the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The art of.
Mm-hmm.
Or not, it's not the art of. It's the art. It's the Mandalorian, the art and imagery. So It's not the art of book. But it's really cool. And I'm gonna do one that's a little bit more in depth. Like I just kind of flip through it and take a look. I don't even know if I put that up online yet. That might have gone right to the Patreon feed. I don't know. I'm just recording so much. I don't even know what's going where. And then it's like, and then when I didn't have my computer, I lost so much stuff because I had it saved on my phone or I had it saved on my notebook. And I tried to do everything with the notebook, and a little 4 gigabyte notebook can't do it. So I destroyed that in the matter of a month or two. So that's just completely wasted. So everything I had on there, and then it's just like, I literally have 4 cases full of Funko Pops that I was supposed to make videos for and like unboxings, and they're old ones though. They're not new ones. And it's like, is it even worth it now just to do it? Maybe I'll just let them sit there until maybe in 2 years when there's no content for me to do anything with, I can pull them out, or by then who knows if I'll even for my non-collection, my Funko non-collection.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, and then like we were talking the other day, do you collect? You're very selective, aren't you? You have a few things.
I mean, I don't really get into like Funko Pop or Black Series. Like I pick up things that look cool,
I feel attacked.
So I have some Black Series, I have some 3 3/4, I have some Funko Pop, I have little things here and there. So it's like I don't have one specific thing I jump into. I just kind of whatever catches.
I was talking to Kylo on the septic tank last week that I finally went through and I put. So I have I can't check right now. I think the last count I have, and there's a few more to be added onto there. I think 157 Funko Pops.
I don't have that. I think I have like a dozen. And
I took about 30 or 40 and put those into storage containers, and I'm going to put those away to make more room. But now that I moved my office, so I have an old teacher's desk. So it's like 6 feet by 4 feet. So I have half the desk that's not used. So it's like right now looking at it, I mean, I can show you. Right now looking at it, I have, Funko over there. Those are 12-inch Funkos or 10-inch Funkos.
You should just get all the ones you can't display and just like make furniture out of sit on Funko Pops.
Then I have a table over there with just a bunch of other stuff, and I explained to Danielle too. This was the funny thing. With her being gone, I can go through everything and redo it. And she's like, "Well, I've been working the last couple of weeks or whatever. Why didn't you do it then?" I was like, because you would leave for work and I'd have breakfast or do whatever. I didn't know when you were coming home, and I'd pull the stuff out and organize them and spend 4 or 5 hours doing it, and then put it all back so it was done out of the way when you got home. But now I can just pull stuff out and leave stuff on the coffee table and on the kitchen table, on the couch, all over. Just have the place trashed with toys, and then put it all back together before you get home. But it's just that was the other thing I was talking with Kylo. It's like, so since Triple Force Friday last October, I have bought every Funko Pop and every Black Series that has come out. And it's like, okay, Lieutenant Connix, I like that character, but I'm not going to display that Funko Pop, so I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it in storage. That's like, why am I going to put something in storage that is never going to be worth money? I don't like it enough to display it. So it's like, maybe right now it's the good time to, downsize a little bit more. And okay, so here we go. Here's Kylo. How do you have 157 and claim you are not a Funko collector? Explain this. Certainly, I would love to. I have an addictive personality. We all know that. We know I've had my problems with whatever things in life, and I've gotten rid of them out of my life. But I would rather get something and have it, and then have to get rid of it, than have to go and try and find it. So, and if it costs me a couple extra dollars to buy a Funko for $10, and then a year or two later sell it for $5 just so I get a few dollars for it, so be it. It's better than spending hours, because time is worth a lot of money. Searching and trying to find this thing. Or
you decide you want one later, and it's like $50 or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, we were talking about with me not being on Twitter and kind of staying away from everything. It's like I should have had someone talking to me and be like, "This is going on." So I missed the Hasbro Pulse thing. Yeah. I did get. Where is it? I got the. I'll grab it real quick. It's right here. I know it is. I picked up this guy. I got this guy. This wasn't a problem. The Wampa.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I got this, and I have the Wampa with Luke, the original one. And I'm pretty sure I have Luke in the Tauntaun, so I can put, whatever. So, someday when I grow up and I'm an adult and I get back into school and finish school, and, I can have my office that isn't just half of a room. It can be this entire room, and I can have dioramas, and I can have everything put out. And then those things will come out of the boxes. But yeah, I was able to get the set of the Endor set.
Okay.
Of it, but I missed on the special edition Cad Bane and Armorer, and it's okay, we're gonna have to see what happens with that, because right now they're on eBay for $200. I'm not paying $200 for it. Especially since I can get the regular one that's just missing a couple guns. Down the line in a couple months, if it goes down to $50, which will probably happen, because that's what happened with the Sith Trooper and so the Sith Trooper came out, and the San Diego Comic-Con Sith Trooper came out. It was the same thing. It was $120, $150. It wasn't as expensive on the secondary market, but it was up there. And I just waited, and it got down to $50, and I was like, okay, pull the trigger on. I think I got it for $48 with shipping or whatever. And it was $30 anyway, so it's like, if I would have paid $5 or $6 shipping, so I paid an extra $10 or $15 for it, which I probably shouldn't have. I didn't need it, but I wanted it, so I got it. But then we were talking about the. I have them sitting over here. These guys. There's a bunch of different close variations of the Sith Trooper and the Sith Jet Trooper, and their masks are a little different, or the guns different. Well, the San Diego Comic-Con one. Was $15 at San Diego Comic-Con last con, and it was instantly $150 when you walked out the door to buy it. Yeah. And for a couple months it was $150, and then it went to $350, then it went to $650, and now it's $1,250 or $2,000. So yeah, I don't like it that much. It's just because the mask is different. It's like I could probably have, if I wanted it, take the mask off of one. I wouldn't do it. I'd have Kylo do it. But give them 4 pops and be like, here, put the mask from this one on this body, because then they're the same.
Yeah.
But, so
right.
It's just like with the Funko release that came out. I missed a couple of them that came out. The child with the pendant, I missed that one, but that's an Amazon shared one, so it's $20 or $25 instead of $15. That's not a big deal. The Luke and Leia one you can get on eBay for, I saw it for I think $60 today, which isn't bad, because it's $35 or $40. So by the time you pay for shipping, it would have been, that's not bad. The Boba Fett one, that is the one that I really need to find a good deal on, or something to happen, because that was $100. It was being sold for $100, and it was instantly on eBay for $1,000, $800, $900, and now in the auctions, none of the auctions are anywhere near done yet. There's still a day or 3 days left, and they're at about, the cheap ones are $400 or $500. So I just gotta hope that in the next few months it drops down to quite a bit less. I mean, I know at Star Wars Celebration, Corey Van Dyke got in line and he bought all of the Funko Pops. That's what they were, all the blue ones. And he turned around and sold for $1,000 right on the spot. And it cost him $85, whatever. There was 6, 8 of them, or maybe it was just the blue ones. I think it was just the blue ones. So 6 or 7 for $1,000 is what he sold them for. And now they're going for, $50, $60 a piece. Well, I think one or two of them are expensive, but it's a year later, year and a half later, it would cost you $200-$300 to get them all instead of $1,000. So, you just got to hope it doesn't go the San Diego Comic-Con route.
Right.
So I don't know what kind of time factor you are. I know you said you had some time, but
I've got time.
People say they have time, but they might not have hours of time like I do. I got nothing to do right now.
I've got time.
I go in for back surgery on the 19th. Other than that, I got nothing to do. I had half my back done. So insurance companies are fucking brilliant.
Wonderful.
I had half of it done. So you can't really call it surgery. I mean, it depends what you want to do, your definition. They wouldn't pay for my shots anymore, even though my shots last me months. So I have to have radio frequency ablation. So what they do is they stick a needle in your spine, and then they move it around and they take x-rays while they're doing it, so they can get it, and they burn off the nerve endings.
Oh, okay.
But for whatever reason, the insurance company won't pay to have it all done at once. So I had to have half the side done. So my left side, I have no pain in. Like, the nerves are all burnt off, and the hope is when they grow back, they'll be healed. And if they're not, they just burn them off again until it takes a while for your nerves to come back. So it's according to them better, but whatever. So I got to go back in a couple weeks and have the other side done. But it's funny because I go from having to take heavy duty pain medicine, and now half my back doesn't hurt and the other half does. So it's like, it's just really weird. But so I got nothing to do. But so let's see what else we got to talk about. High Republic. All right. So what did you? I know you talked about it briefly. What did you talk about on your podcast on Saturday that you lost? Did you re-record it?
No, yeah, we re-recorded it. We got back together on Sunday afternoon and recorded it, and I pushed the episode out like late last night. I think it was actually early this morning. So it's pretty much about the same as what we recorded on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm trying to get make time now. Before I was listening to podcasts and doing things because I could. They were there. Yeah. Now I'm actually trying to make time and do things and fit it in. Yeah. But yours is one of the ones that I'm usually in the chat for when you have it on.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Even when I'm doing something, I still try and get in there. There's a couple that I try and always make sure that I'm there for.
We haven't done the whole live thing for a couple of weeks. We've still been just recording, and we still put a video on YouTube. So we still do that. We just haven't done the live thing for a few weeks, but kind of taking a little break from doing live and just kind of having fun recording and putting out the podcast, and
So the High Republic.
Yes.
What are your feelings on that?
I'm very hopeful for it. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I've been a little disappointed with canon stuff. I feel like there could be some bigger story beats in canon stuff, even though I love some of the books that are out there. I'm really hoping that the High Republic is that space where they can just kind of go crazy with story and do some really cool stuff. And we're getting brand new characters, so I'd like to see where they take those. And I think this was smart on their end, because I think that this kind of separates them from any expectations of what to do with certain characters, right? So I'm excited for kind of like this blue sky phase of Star Wars where kind of anything goes. This can end up really almost anywhere, because we're far enough before anything that's come before in canon that we don't have to worry about messing with timelines over there. I'm excited. I'm excited and I'm hopeful.
Yeah, me too. And I'm really stoked. And we got we're getting a comic book or graphic novel, whatever you want. It's I'm gonna piss somebody off because I called it the wrong thing, but we're getting a comic book in December, which is earlier than we thought, and then we're getting 3 books on the same day, and
then we're getting new books in the summer. Actually, Kevin Scott's writing the next adult novel, and so yeah, next year is going to be a lot of fun for reading.
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be great, and then you also have the other book from Alphabet Squadron, and you have the other Thrawn book coming out. Yep. So it's not just looking into I just read his comment, Kyle's comment right here that he's looking into creating a knockoff Sith Trooper.
Okay.
And we talked about this the other day, and because I have some extras, and you can find some extras, and they're cheap because they're all over the place now. We wouldn't make them, or I say we, but I'm going to say we anyways. We wouldn't make them to sell them and rip people off. We just be like, hey, this is what this one looks like, but instead of being $2,000 or $1,500, $30 and you can have it. Or whatever it costs for the custom. So you got to buy 2 pops then. So there's $30. Then it's time to do it. So it might be 50. I don't know. And and then he can recreate the box. And in no way are you going to think that it's the real one. But at least then you can be like, hey, I have this. And that's what it comes down to a lot of times too. Like with the with the stickers. So I don't know if I can't reach it right now, but I just don't feel like standing up because I'm lazy. But here we go. All right. So this one. This guy right here is, I think, $18 if you want to buy him, because he's got this sticker. It's the one he's got the fire shooting out of his butt. If it would have had a whatever con sticker it was, it's $80.
Yeah.
So for a collector, for them it's worth it. For me, I don't care about the sticker. I just want the toy.
Yeah.
So you get into that. But, Squadrons, did you? I
bought it I bought it late, but I haven't even had time to boot it up yet. It's been a crazy week, crazy weekend. But the plan is I'm definitely going to be playing it. I'm actually planning on recording as I'm playing through the story and putting that up on the channel YouTube. On the YouTube channel, so yeah, I haven't jumped into it yet, but got my joystick ready. I'm ready.
It's a lot of fun. It's really tough, and I talked about it the other night. I've spent 25 hours going through the story mode, or Steam tells you how long you've played. I've played for 25 hours.
Okay.
But that's how long the game's been on. So like the one time I left, it was gone for a couple hours. So probably like 20 hours or 18, maybe. I don't know. And it's supposed to be like
only done story, or have you jumped into multiplayer?
I did multiplayer once and I got destroyed. I did it with a buddy of mine. But I have the Oculus 2 coming, so I'm going to be able to play that.
Oh, that would be cool. Okay.
And VR.
Yeah.
The joystick. I ran into the problem where I ordered it late. I ordered it online. I got a confirmation from Amazon that it was being shipped. I got a confirmation number. And 2 days later, they sent me an email that my money was being refunded because it was sold out.
No.
I'm like, how do I have a confirmation number? With and then it's told that whatever. So and now it's to the point where so it was the we talked about this the other day. This is the Bacta tank. So keep yourself composed, people in the chat. It's the Thrustmaster 1600. Sounds like it should be on a freaking I just went blank on I'm shooting blanks now. Naked Gun. Like that's like
Oh,
there might be like
okay.
Naked Gun movie. That's what I was going
ahead with that one. Okay.
And but it's like, so the one that was recommended through a friend that I've become acquainted with, who's a VR guy. That's what he does, is VR and you know, whatever. That's a whole other story. But he got the recommendation from someone above him that either does reviews or from the company or whatever, that said, this is the one you need to get. This is the best one for it. I think price probably had something to do with it. Cam, you have a good night, sir.
Hi, Cam.
Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's always great to see you. And I would like to say Cam Ray does collect Funko Pops, in case anyone would like to know. I know this because I sent him his first one. But because of Honey the Boo Boo. But the hell was I saying? Honey the Boo Boo. Cam Ray's pineapple got me crazy now.
We're talking about Squadrons and the Thrustmaster. And
there you go. You're like, oh god, what did I get myself into coming on here? I thought I was going to be good on the back.
I'm having a lot of fun.
But so it was like a $70 controller, and it's the one where so the HOTUS is you know, you're supposed to, so you have so the people that are watching can see you got the controller here, the joystick here, and then you have the thruster on this side, so you know, back and forth or whatever. This you can do with one hand because it's on the thumb, so you don't need to use your other hand. You can, you know, use it for whatever. And no, I mean, like getting a drink or doing something or hitting the buttons then on there, you know, it's just so it's you know, God, you know, I'm trying to behave here and it's just turned out worse for me and worse. You know, so it's like, okay, but now if you want to find that one, so I bought it and it was $85, so the price had gone up a little bit. Now if you're trying to find it, it's like 160 or 170. Yeah. And I need one that's VR ready.
Right.
So like that's where you come into it. And now I just need to find out if I'm going to spend that much money on a joystick, does that mean I should get a different one for the same price? Because you know, that one that was $60 or $80 that they were recommending, was the price a factor into that. Also, they don't say you need to spend one that's $150. Well, now if I have to spend $150 on it, do I get the one for $200? Because if I'm going to spend the money, I might as well get something that's even better instead of just getting ripped off because people want to make a buck. So that's the other thing I need to look into. But yeah, it will all be coming soon. And man, it looks so amazing on VR. Like you don't even.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out.
You don't even know. But yeah, that's what. And that's why I haven't been so gun ho on it. I mean, I'm almost done. I'm on mission 15, which I think is the last one. But that's why I just kind of like, okay, you know, I got a little free. Like instead of playing it today, I was like, I'm going to edit this video, and then probably later on tonight, I have another video that I'm probably going to edit or at least start or do something on instead of playing that. Just because, you know, I got sometime the 15th, 16th, 18th, depending on when Amazon decides they're going to send it to me, you know, sometime over the weekend. And then I'm just going to play it all weekend in VR, which was my intention. But, you know, and then, yeah, so it's just a bunch of stuff that going on. But let's see what else we got. So we got the Mandalorian, but that's still a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have a lot of information on anything. You know, we had the New York Comic-Con virtual panels for the literature, but that was still, you know, we didn't find anything out. We found out we found out that the people that are making those books or that are doing the books, Charles Soule and whatnot, they're doing more books. And who's doing them, you know, which was interesting because they kind of threw a monkey wrench in it. Like I know I'm going to get this wrong, but just for example, Claudia Gray, who writes the, you know, the hard hitting investigative canon books, is writing a children's book, and the guy that writes the comic books is writing the novel. And, you know, and now they kind of switched it back around the regular way, or other people are doing it for this. And, you know, I think this is what's great because you have so many different writers, so many different ideas. They're all working together. Nobody seems like they're fighting with each other. And I don't care how hard you try. If you don't like someone and disagree with them, or, they stole my idea, or I want to do this or want to do that, like they've spent enough time together and done enough junkets and press that it's, like, I think they're happy to do it. And it's not a big deal that, well, Adam didn't want to do this with Luke Skywalker, so I had to do this, but it's okay because we're all a big happy family making Star Wars, because how can you not be happy making Star Wars?
Yeah.
I mean, like, my hobby is talking about people making Star Wars. It costs me money to talk about people making Star Wars.
Yeah.
How could you not go wrong with being around with people that have become your friends and getting paid to make Star Wars? Yeah. I mean, I know it's hectic and crazy and whatever, but I would love to have that crazy, hectic life. So I'm going to erase everything I said so far in this episode and
all out.
Star Wars. Yeah, hire me.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I don't know if there's really that much else. That's the
to be about the biggest stuff, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing about this is, we just spent an hour and a half talking about Star Wars, and there was no news, and it was just like, hey, what did you like about this? What did you like about that? And oh, okay, Last Jedi. But I guess it's about that time of the day. You know what happens in the show now. I need somebody to ask me the question.
You waiting for chat, or can I do it?
You can do it.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? And Hall Chronicles stole that one from me. Just want to say. Well, we got this guy right here. I'm gonna shrink you down. We'll put you on the side right there.
Okay.
So there we go. We got this. This, I know what this is. There's this is the thing right now that's going on too with the collecting. They're doing exclusives. So like whether you like them or not, the Black series is coming out with 5 different Christmas stormtroopers or whatever variations of them, which is great. That's fine. But Amazon has one, GameStop has one, all 5 different stores. So you either need to go to each different store and get it, or order 5 different ones online, which just kind of becomes a big pain in the butt. But Target, this guy came from Target. Bam!
Oh, he's cool.
M553. And I picked up a couple other ones from Target too. I think. Oh, these were already open. I think these were open last week. But I got Rex.
Oh no, I want Rex. I've been looking around for him.
And Cardinal.
Oh, nice.
And all it was is, I'll go through little spurts where I'll check every day or a couple times a day on Target, and no, it doesn't have it. No, it doesn't have it. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. And then forget about it for a couple weeks and then look for it again and be like, all right. But Andy actually sent me one because he knew I was looking for it and couldn't find it. He found it in the wild.
Oh, nice. That's a hard find.
And then, but, I forgot that he had sent me one, and then I saw it was there when I ordered the other 2, and I was like, okay. But I still need to get the Hondo and whatever. So, I have him on the list there.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. And we got this bad boy too.
Ooh, 2 boxes.
Oh, there's so I opened I've opened a box at least one box. I mean, there's sometimes where I've opened 7 or 8, just depending on how they come in. And I had so much stuff saved up that I was stashing, so I didn't have places to put it. So it was easier for me to stash the boxes than it was to open them up and pack it away. So I did I don't know if you remember, I did the Advent calendar. open up a different box every day instead of being a kid and getting a piece of candy or whatever. It was a different box every day. I mean, so that was 24
like Lego
right
one,
there. But all right, we got this book right here.
Oh, that's cool. I think Josh was telling me about that.
Yeah. This is it's a children's book.
Yeah.
Along those lines, and definitely is. I mean,
but the art.
You look at the drawing in there. It's obviously for
sure.
For kids.
But the art is really cool in that book.
Yeah. But eventually, all the new books I'm getting will have videos done. Whether they're quick little ones or in-depth ones. I mean, I still haven't finished the. I have 2 more chapters or 2 more videos to make for. I have it sitting right here. The visual dictionary. I do the Holocron House where I go through page by page and talk about each thing, and it's like here it shows whatever a mouse, and the mouse is canon because of this that I just talk about it with who's ever in the chat and do it that way. But this one I'm really excited about, and I have mixed feelings on it because it's not something I would normally do or something I would normally have.
Okay.
And you'll see once I pop this bad boy open.
Have I bought any new items lately?
What's that?
Pauline was asking if I've bought any new items lately. I've been doing some bargain shopping lately. So there's an Ollie's in my area, and they've been getting some Star Wars stuff in. So I got some 3 3/4 series from those, and some of the vintage collection. And I picked up actually a couple books. I picked up the Last Jedi visual dictionary there for $3. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
and they've had some comic collections there as well. So I picked up a bunch of them for like $3 each. So.
I mean, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I got to back in the swing thing and make sure that I'm getting my. I have a couple of the publishers that I'm supposed to be getting books from.
Okay.
I got to double check and make sure that I'm still getting those because I missed a couple of books that I was supposed to do reviews on.
Okay.
That they'll just be done, but I want to make sure I get back in their good graces. But that's the whole thing. It's it's not just like the good old days where there's 2 or 3 different publishers. There's 10 or 15 different publishers doing the books. So, you have to get in good with all of them.
Yeah, right.
So here we go. These are, all separate, but it's kind of like a set of them. It is Star Wars book.
Yeah. Okay. Those are cool.
So I'm really not too into them. But I think it would be cool. And I had them ordered, and I was like, I'm going to order them, and I'm going to cancel them. But I just never did. And it's without really opening up that much, you can kind of see it's a 20-page story on Rogue One and X-Wings and whatever. And, you can see here you have – I'm trying to make – I don't know what I'm even doing with this, but so this is taped together. I guess I'm gonna rip this off here. Oh my God, it's not gonna be worth anything now. We got. I don't even know how this one's up, but yeah. So you got the all parts for ships and for planes, and you end up making that guy right there.
That's pretty cool. I've seen those, not that one, but I've seen those before too. Those pretty cool.
We got this one from Millennium Falcon. So it's.
I think that's the one I've seen before. I think the Falcon.
It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you. If you're interested in these, just wait a little while because they're probably going to be a lot cheaper. In a couple weeks or whatever. Or I'm in the process of setting up on being an affiliate with Amazon. So I'll have these things on an Amazon list. So if anybody's looking for Christmas ideas, not for me because I already have them, But Christmas ideas or anything to buy, I'll have them on my list, and there's going to be a lot of stuff on that list because I'm going to be smart about it and break it up, because you're going to have some books on there. You're going to have some action figures. You're collecting Funkos. Did I show you all? Oh, there's still 2 more in here I didn't even show you. You're going to be collecting Funkos. Well, you need a the tiers, the cupcake tiers or whatever.
Right.
So I'll sit there and try and figure out which ones are the best ones to get, and maybe a cabinet or something. Storage containers too, man. Like, you wouldn't think, like, when I went to go look for storage containers, I spent hours trying to figure out and measuring and how many can I fit in this one and that one, and
collecting is can be painful.
But so we got this one too. We got the TIE silencer.
Okay.
And the AT-AT.
Oh, nice.
So it's like the TIE silencer is 9.25 inches long. This is 5.5.
Okay.
So, it's really me just having to figure out, why Daddy-L's gone, and I have no idea how long she's going to be gone. She could be gone a couple of days. She could be gone for a long time, just because she's there. I was going to go with her, but there was no reason for me. Well, I couldn't go because I had a doctor's appointment today. I didn't know that was going to be. And, that was kind of, they did a CAT scan of my lungs, and they found something wrong with my heart that they didn't know was there. And then it's like, well, this explains a lot of shit that we couldn't figure out. It's like, okay, good. And they're like, yeah, well, we'll just wait and see if anything happens with it. No big deal. And my whole thing was, it takes weeks to get an appointment with the heart surgeon. And my doctor tells me on Friday, you need to go as soon as you can to meet with this person. And they call me, like, we have an appointment, come in Monday and see us. And I'm like, did you just have an appointment open up by, like, God's graces? Or is this really that bad that I need to come in and, they're not saying you need to go to the hospital now because you're going to die. But, like, the fact that, a 1-day turnover, which is unheard of. So, but they're just kind of like, yeah, just hang out and see what happens. You're going to be having a lot of tests done anyway, so we'll know if it gets worse. I'm like, okay, makes me feel better now. But yeah, that's just kind of the way my life's been for the last couple months.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, man.
It could be worse. I mean,
it could be, but it's still not fun.
Yeah, but that's so I didn't go with her to go away, and now it's like she had to close her restaurant back down because 25% wasn't going to cut it, and then New York's going crazy again. There's certain areas in New York that certain groups are, just to make the math easy, we'll just say, like, New York's at a 1, but these groups are at a 10, which make it a 5. So it's on the cusp of all of New York shutting down, but instead they're just shutting down these, areas where these groups live, and by the synagogues and everything, because whatever, and not even get into that debate because, like, that's a whole nother story in itself, and it's like, just whatever. This is what it is. These are the facts, and other things can be discussed, but it's like this is what's going on right now. So that's that's where it is. So they'll be shut for a little while, and they don't know what a little while is. It could be a couple weeks until the weather gets cold and everybody's got to come back inside and eat. Or if they put restrictions back in, it could be weeks or months, or so it's just like, just go hang out and chill, man. I'm here with a dog. I gotta stick around because I got doctor's appointments, and you go have fun, and I can finally get my kingdom put together. She's gonna come home and she's gonna kill me because there's gonna be shelves over there and shelves over here, maybe a curio cabinet somewhere that I was told I wasn't allowed to have. We were gone on vacation, man. I had to make these decisions. Sorry.
Right.
And the great thing is she doesn't watch this, so I could say whatever I wanted and she would never know. Stripper party. Yeah, so I mean that's I'm just, and it's weird because, and I'm not saying it bad, but like with her, even with her being here, there was stuff I couldn't do. Like, I couldn't just decide I want to start making videos in the middle of the afternoon or the middle of the night with her here. You know what I mean? Well, with her not here, like I really don't have anything to do. So if I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I decide I want to record a video or I want to edit a video, I can come in here and do that. Where if she was home, she'd wake up and be like, why aren't you in bed? I couldn't sleep. Which is another thing too. When they put me on my medicine, it gives me insomnia. So
Man,
they put me on it, and so they put me on it. I was on it for 2 weeks. The first week I couldn't sleep. Like I literally slept an hour or two, but I wasn't tired, so it wasn't like insomnia where you're beat. It's just I was good. And now they had me on it again, for another round of it. But it's like I was up until 7 a.m. because I couldn't sleep. Yeah. And I was just hanging out on the computer. I was on YouTube a little bit. I was watching TV, and I slept I got up at 8. I fell asleep about 7:30. I got up at 8. And who knows what it's going to be. So it's just, I'll be able with her on vacation, I'll be able to be a lot more productive because I don't have a time, like I was saying earlier, I don't have a time structure in there. Right. I can leave toys all over the place and no one's going to yell at me for having toys all over. Just as long as they're cleaned up by the time she gets back.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Adam.
All right.
I think that's probably about it for today.
Good. It was a blast.
Yeah,
it went pretty quick to me. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Just you're welcome back anytime. Come back in the chat, hang out. Awesome. A lot of times I invite people on too to ask questions, but Pauline doesn't come on. She's camera shy, so she asks her questions in the chat. Kylo, he'll tell me if he wants to come on, so I don't even bother telling him.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's kind of a when I started doing this, I was the only guy doing it on Monday nights, and now Hall Chronicles and doing. I'm not saying, and like I don't want this to sound like bitter or a bad thing.
I know. That's kind of like when we were doing Saturdays, it just kind of like popped up, and then like more people started doing Saturdays, and it's just I know.
I'm not trying to even make it seem like, well, I was doing it and they took my time slot or whatever. No, they're doing it. Right. I'm still getting the same number of views that I was getting before. Just instead of getting the live chat being as busy and getting as many hits while it's on live, I still at the end of the week or the end of the month have those same number of views. Mm-hmm. They're just kind of backwards. Or, instead of having 60 live views and 60 people watching later, I'm getting 30 live views and 100 views later. So, obviously I'd rather have people in the chat because it's more fun and keeps it going. Or, just a little different aspect of it. But,
right.
So, are you gonna be live on Saturday?
Probably not. We've kind of taken a step back after things kind of blew up with us a few weeks ago. So we're just kind of for right now. We're just kind of happy just recording and not worrying about having to put on It's a different animal when you're doing live shows and it's putting on being on your game for an hour straight and Well, if recording, but we're gonna get back to doing some live stuff, and I'm gonna do some different live things, even if it's not recording a show. I might do some game stream or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, the game stream one is fun too. Yeah, I did. It popped up today. It was like session 58 for my Fallen Order. When I was going through it, I was like, but yeah, let's try and get together. Maybe I don't know if you have any free time this weekend, and do that. I mean, it's you on your show too sometime one of these days. Definitely, but if you have any free time, let me know when, because I have all the free time in the world, and we'll try and get that book done that we were going to do 2 months ago. Yeah. Let's do it. All right. Thank you very much for stopping by, everyone. That is Adam the Gaz 85. I'm not going to tell you why he has that name. That's kind of top secret. But you can find him on Twitter as the Gaz 85 and From a Certain Point of View. Yep. That's it. You nailed it. All right. Thanks very much for stopping by, brother. Thanks for having me. I had a great time. Have a good one. You too. With that,
Oh, I got to make this for the podcast. I got to make it sound good. I already said goodbye. Okay, whatever, blah, blah. I guess I can just say, with that, I said a good day. May the force be with you. Cut! Okay. That's the other thing I need to do, too. I am freaking 18 episodes of the podcast behind that I need to do. And for those of you that are watching or seeing this later that, don't know how it goes, so that went from 9:30 till it's 11:20 right now, but we're going to call it 2 hours. So in order for me to edit that out, I mean, there's nothing I really need to take out, but I'm going to clean up a little bit in case there's any breaks or any ums or ands or, any of the qualifiers that go in there. Cut those out. So you got to figure I'm going to listen to it for 2 hours. And whatever I'm going to cut out of there is going to be another 2 hours. So it's going to be 4 hours probably at least that it's going to take me to, that podcast, this one I just did, put that into whatever. So that's, that's a lot of time. But put that link in there for anybody that wants to stop by. I'll be crazy. Want to get tanked? Just in case anybody else wants to hop in there. I never even changed the box tank. It was a septic tank on there the whole time. So, Pauline, thanks for stopping by. She kind of left. What up, yo?
What up? Oh, shit, I'm on there.
You asked me for the link. I sent you the link, and you clicked on it. So, yeah, you're on here.
Well, I was backstage for a minute. I thought I still was. Good thing I got my pants on.
Yes, this is not the septic tank.
Yes.
But yeah, I posted that video earlier that I did of just those, and it was the carbonized Mando carbonized. The fuck's his name? Stormtrooper, and then 2 of the GameStop exclusives. And then I still have from that same video. I already posted the Obi-Wan one. I have the Macquarie Pops to post, and I have the Yoda one to post. And I think I'm going to do, I got to look at it and see if, I could edit it however I want to. But I was playing around with it, so I actually figured out how to put titles in there. And that was an hour when I couldn't sleep last night. That was an hour going through all the different titles that come in. So, they have it where it is, 50 different kinds of titles where they roll in, they flip in, big on top, small on the bottom.
You're talking about like transitions where you can transition like a picture or something in?
You know what? I don't even think I put transitions in that today. I forgot to do that. I was supposed to do that when I came home. No, not the pictures, but so like right now where you're talking, like if I wanted to say, come scrolling through in the middle of it, it could say Kylo Customs or whatever. Just there's so much stuff I can do with this software that I've never done because I don't know how to. I just need to sit down and watch YouTube videos on how to use this software because I had them on there. I found one that I really liked, but I couldn't figure out how to change. Like it says on it, it says top title, bottom title. I have to figure out how to change the lettering and the color if I want to. Just to make it look a little bit better, a little bit more professional, as the kids say.
A little bit more with it.
Let's see. I don't even know. Like
Like
I just posted it. I didn't tell anybody about it. There's not even anything in what do you call it? Keywords. There's not even keywords in there or anything. It picked up 10 views, which are just people that follow on it that saw it. But it's not even, it's not even a hot one. It's not anything good. Like, I still got to do, these ones down here that I have cases for, and that, and like I said the other day, the Amazon, the Chewbacca, and I have the Rebels ones that I'm still waiting for them to come because they decided to charge me twice and not send me any of them. I need to call those assholes again tomorrow and see what's up. But yeah, I mean, I still have so much stuff, and then I have cases coming in, to do, and it's just trying to. It's a good thing right now. I have so much stuff to do that I don't even know where to start to do it. So.
Well, you're going to have plenty of downtime coming up, so you'll be busy. You'll be able to stay busy. Plus, it's going to be that time too, to where nobody wants to be outside, because if New York weather's anything like, well, it's not like Chicago winters, but it does get bad. But yeah, it's not time to be outside screwing around.
This is definitely true.
That's why I've made it. That's why I've made a slight comeback on live streams, because it's dark by what, like 6:30 maybe.
Yeah, not even. I mean, yeah, it's.
Dark. Well,
think about it this way too. You're about halfway through it getting dark. Like it's, the December, another month and a half is when it starts to get light out again, the other way. So, I mean, you're almost, it's going to get a little darker. So now it's 6 o'clock and it's going to be 5 o'clock, in the next month or whatever. But, yeah. So, I mean, that's what I was talking to somebody the other day. And, I said, it just, even though this is number 30 something, I've been doing it for almost a year. Because the first ones were just live chat. It wasn't called the Bacta tank. And then, the septic tank too. And some of them haven't been going on as long, but there was, some of them were on a Saturday and a Sunday, whatever, to fit people in, or we try to get people from across the pond over here, or whatever going on. So, it's just a good time. And a lot of people cut down their hours in the summertime, or don't do anything. And I was doing it just as much. A couple of these last ones have been a lot shorter than normal.
Right.
But you're kind of like the co-founder of the septic tank. I was doing the Bacta tank, and like I was talking with Adam earlier, it was kind of like a free for all. Whoever wants to come on can come on. And some weeks it would be just me talking for an hour or two, and then when I'm getting ready to get off, 3 or 4 people would hop on, or there wouldn't be enough room for everybody to come on that wanted to get on. And that's when I kind of changed it up, and I was like, okay, I need to do it a little bit different. I'm gonna have one person come on and talk with them, and then afterwards, if people want to hop on, they can hop on and come on. You know, and then Saturday night's the same thing, just, you know, whatever it is. And if it happens to be on a Saturday night that we, you know, no one comes on and I just talk for an hour, then, you know, that's what it is. But now, you know, like you were saying, you're back on because you're not out playing in your backyard, or, you know, your ding dong isn't falling off anymore, or whatever your problems were that you were having. You know.
Oh yeah, you know.
And it's like, I need to talk to you because I talked to you about the other day. We never got, you know, in touch. I have a bunch of stuff I'm going to be putting on eBay, and trying to figure out some logistics of that. And then, you know, just stuff, man. You know, there's a lot going on right now, and we just need to get it figured out. And, you know, I was talking to my buddy who's going to build my website for me, and it's one of those things that whenever I have time for him to do it, he doesn't have time, or whenever he has time, I don't have time. So, you know, it was a couple of weeks ago I talked to him, and he was like, hey, well, you know what, we'll do it this week coming up. And I wasn't feeling well, so I never made the trek over there I mean, even though it was only a couple blocks from me, I never went and got it done. And, you know, now I hit him up. I was like, hey, what are you doing this week? He's like, oh, I don't have any time this week, but don't worry, we're done. And I think I'm just going to talk about that thing with you and try and see what we can do, because I really don't need the website for it to get that done. I just need to get the pictures over to him and then try and figure something out, the best way to set something up on, you know, and then throw it up on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and, you know, whatever else I can do. But that's still, you know, I don't think that's going to happen in the next, you know, couple of days. That's still going to take a couple of weeks. By then I might have the website done anyway. So, you know, it's a bunch of things just ready to fall into place. And, you know, my network of one needs help. It's a network of one with many friends. And some of the friends actually lasted because they really are friends. Oh, sorry. That was subtweeting, I guess.
So, did you make Cam Ray shoot a video and thank you for sending him the pop?
With no pants on?
Well, yeah, pretty much. I don't know if you saw that comment or not, because I either missed it or you didn't address it. So I was like, maybe he didn't see that one.
I did, and I was going to come back to it and just forgot about it until you just said it now. But it was I did the mash. I don't know if you remember. I did the mashup contest, where you took an actor in a Star Wars, or I forget what the hell. I don't even remember what it was. But you mashed them up. It was I think it was a famous person and a Star Wars character, and you had to mash them up. And his was Honey Naboo. I think that's what it was. Something like that. And so he got a Funko Pop for it.
Oh yeah, because I remember, because we voted on Twitter for it. It's like one of those things you put on there to vote for it, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. It's like, so in my mind right now, I have my ideas, and it all depends on what happens on Prime Day too.
What time is that like at midnight, or is that a specific time like that? Because I've never done
it starts at midnight Pacific time tonight. So it starts at 3 a.m. our time, 2 a.m. for you.
Right.
Now I just told everybody where you live.
Oh no. I'm sure there's people that are hacking satellites and reading my license plate that's behind my garage door.
as we do, as they do, as things happen. But yeah, man, it's like, I just gotta. It's great too because I gotta figure out too some editing software to get for my iPad. But I think I need one of those pencils to do it with that. So that's just something else I have to get, where I can then just sit there watching TV in my bedroom and not have to worry about having, the computer in there. And I can take whatever I edited and then email it to myself and then throw it into the good software to put anything else extra I need to do. I don't even know what it's just so like, that video I edited today, I edited it while I was streaming on Live It and talking to people and, laying in bed watching Van Helsing, the TV series, because I can't get my Kodi to work. So I downloaded and did a bunch of things. And it's like, all right, well, I'll figure it out later. I spent an hour and a half trying to figure it out and couldn't get any of them to work. So, at a later time, I got plenty of other stuff to watch, so it's not really that much of an issue. But just being able to do something like that, where normally I wouldn't be able to do that, but I'm single again, so yeah. So it's like, well, if I was gaming, I'd be in here gaming. But when I get done tonight, I'm probably gonna, just take it and put everything in the bedroom and try and take a look and see what it looks like for that video, or I don't know, watch YouTube videos on what stuff to do, or watch the educational stuff on what to do with this and that, so I can just make them look a little bit better, and that way, have these as practice. I mean, I have a bunch of I'm trying to decide if I should do the 3 pops I have, the Star Killer, the Chewbacca, and the Vader. Do those as one, and then do the Yoda one as a separate one, or should I wait, even though I already have the other 3 recorded, wait until I get the prototype pop and do all 4 at the same time?
Are you getting the Boba Fett prototype?
Not the New York Comic-Con one, but the McCory one, yeah.
Oh, you're getting the what do they call it? The Galactic Convention one?
Either one. Right now they're about the same price, but then again, you have to get into they're selling for about the same price on eBay. And if I'm buying one for the same price as, I want the one with the Celebration sticker. But if it doesn't have the Celebration sticker, I want to pay half the price for it.
Right.
But you know how those fucking asshole scammers are half the time anyways. You can't ever really tell, what something is until you get it. Or, it says, they say guaranteed with the Celebration sticker, and it comes and it's the shared one. I ran into that when I was trying to, I don't care about the stickers. If I had my choice, same price, yeah, I want the Celebration one. Half the price, quarter of the price, I'll take the other one. And the only one I cared about was the Celebration one that I got, the Funkos from when I was at that celebration. And I got a couple really good deals that said Celebration exclusive. And then afterwards I thought, wait a second. And I emailed them, no, it doesn't have it. Okay, well, we need to cancel this because, it's not whatever. And the one, it happened to me twice. The one I was able to cancel. The other one I had to go through PayPal before it was even shipped out and say, hey, listen, I already paid them for it, but it's not the right one. I found out afterwards, whatever. So, then PayPal had to go to eBay. eBay wouldn't help me because the transaction hadn't been processed yet, or whatever it was, hadn't been sold out, and I didn't get it or whatever. So I had to go through. It's like just one of those pain in the ass things. But yeah. So I mean, that's I'm just gonna over this next time trying to get caught up. Spend, do my video tomorrow, and post it, and maybe edit 2 of them and put the one out tomorrow and the one out another day. It's
you can upload them and have them set to either premiere or to actually be viewable in advance. Like I've done it where I've set videos up to come out like in a week.
I know. But I'm also trying to make sure that if something new comes in, like, when this guy came in, last week or whatever, I could have done the video for it then. And I mean, I'm not a big channel. The chances of me getting one that making a unboxing video for a toy that, like, when I say make it big, I mean like, a couple hundred views or a couple thousand views, not like something crazy, tens of thousands or whatever, or, hundreds of thousands. Like, I'm not even trying to even think about that because the feasibility of that is, almost nil. But, people aren't going to tune into my channel to watch that video. People are going to watch the video that comes out 2 days later from the channel that they already know. That's, the big guy that's what they're known for. That's what they do. So, it's, once again, it's for my friends. So whoever subscribes to this channel can go ahead and watch that video. Not to sell my crappy merch that I don't even have a TeePublic store yet for, but I wanted to capitalize on being an idiot. So wait, what?
Man, that's a whole different story for once this stream ends. I got a story on that bullshit.
Oh, all right. Right.
I see, I'm not trying to be that guy, but I can air the whole goddamn thing out right now. But it's just, I'm not trying to give free publicity.
All right. Well, anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so it's like, like, all right, so for perfect example, I got a Funko Pop before anyone else in this country did. And I made a video, and that was it. The Yoda tree.
Yoda.
Yeah.
The one where you messaged me and I ran immediately and told them that that the system was broken. They had to give it to me, and we did the live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
I don't remember if I did 2 videos on it. I think we did a chat, and then I think I might have shrunk it down and edited it to just the unboxing. But it got a couple hundred views, I think. Maybe not even that many. And 3 days later, when it came out to everybody else, the people that make videos on it got tens of thousands of views. And I mean, it's just the way it is. The chances of me hitting the algorithm and someone looking for it before it's even out, I'm not even gonna be in there for it. So it's done for friends. And hey, look what I got. And maybe if things work out in the next couple of days, what I'm working on, becoming an Amazon affiliate, that link for the Amazon affiliate will be in the link for the video. So when I do the video for whatever, for this guy, even though it won't be him, if I do the video for this guy, I'll put the link in the bottom so you can buy it if you want to. I mean, it's not on Amazon, so that won't work for that, but just a bunch of things. And trying to figure out if you're a collector, what do you need to collect? What should be on that list from a collector's standpoint? Like I was talking to Adam, putting on their storage containers and this and that and, the other thing and labels so that you can just be like, oh, yeah, I want to go pick this up. And, and then instead of going on Amazon and having to go through hundreds of thousands and, okay, I need cupcake tiers. Which one do I want? Oh, look, there's 4,007 of them that they're showing me. And then you do the same thing everybody does. Give me the top rated ones. Give me this, give me that. Okay, now we're down to 200. All right, just give me something. And I'm going to have a couple on there. And, whatever, man. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud for everyone to hear and talk with us about. So, well, yeah. So what's on your mind? I mean, it's been a while since I just talked to you 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's see. In the last 2 days, what's happened? Well, let's see. I talked to you Saturday. So yesterday was Sunday. I watched football. I watched my Steelers in a very, very good, interesting game against the Eagles yesterday. That was entertaining. Let's see. I've bought one Funko Pop in that time period.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's this guy right here.
Do you have small hands today?
I think I do. I don't know what's the deal with my camera is.
No, I meant that's a 6-inch one, not a...
No, this is a regular size one. It's the glow in the dark one that I've been looking for forever, and I found it at Walgreens. They actually did like a restock on it. It's gonna go with my Halloween decor that I'm still behind on getting done, but I'm gonna probably do that tomorrow since I'm off again tomorrow. Let's see, Sunday today. Nothing really special, man. I went to the hobby store, Hobby Lobby, the Hobby Lobby joint, because I was waiting for the eyeglass place to fix my glasses because they broke yesterday. So that's part of the reason why I really didn't do anything but sit and watch football, because I couldn't see shit. So I went to the Hobby Lobby joint today, and I got another couple of glass blocks. I'm going to make a couple of glass blocks. I'm going to make a breast cancer one. Breast cancer hit me very hard. I personally didn't have breast cancer, but it's hit close to the heart with me, so it's a really big thing. So
yeah,
I want to do a nice breast cancer black light, kind of like the ones that I've shown before. Other than that, man, it rained here. It got cold and rainy. I went to the chiropractor today. Moving around a little bit better. We're trying to work on some of the complications and still left over from the surgeries of being laid up for so long. Feel a little bit better that way. Moved around a little bit better. The kiddo will be glad to see that I'm moving a little bit better when I see her tomorrow. Other than that, man, nothing. I gotta get some stuff boxed up and sent out. I gotta get your Yoju out.
Yeah, I gotta get your Vader. What am I giving you, a Vader or a Revan?
Revan,
okay.
Yeah, I gotta get your Yoju out.
Is there anything else you want, William? We can talk about that after this, I guess.
Have you been able to get around to like the Walgreens, or are you gonna do that like sometime this week to see if there's another Beta Ray floating around? Because what's his name? Second City Sun is looking for one.
Yeah, you told me I'll go tomorrow.
Okay.
I gotta go grocery shopping anyways, or pick up a few things. I told you so. The other day I was gonna go to the store. Maybe Friday, could have been Saturday. I was just gonna buy a bunch of meat, and I was gonna make a bunch of different meat, and cook it, and then just have meat to eat for a couple days. Like that was my idea. I walked out of there. Let me fucking Jesus Christ! I gotta show you this son of a bitch. Look at the size of this pineapple. It doesn't even fit in the window.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's bigger than my head.
Just don't put that on pizza.
Dude, I was thinking about carving it like a fucking pumpkin. Like you could. I could cut off the top, hollow it out, and make a face out of it. And have... I mean, it wouldn't be good for,
Is it going to be like your jack-o'-lantern? Instead of doing a pumpkin, you're going to do a pineapple?
I mean, it's not going to last, but yeah. That was where I was like...
Damn. I'm happy about that. All right, so yes, I didn't. Oh, and I got these guys too. I don't know about this camera angle. I did get a pre-order that came in from GameStop. A couple of holiday ones. The holiday Harley Quinn and her helper, and the Joker to Santa. Couple holiday figures.
Oh, that's cool. Thought you were gonna say like the Black Series one, and I was gonna be like, what?
No, I got this one here. They got them because they're holiday ones. We do a lot of decorating for the holidays, so figure out pop them out of their box for the holidays. It's just thinking about getting some of the other ones that are there on the back too. We got like the Flash is a reindeer for Holiday Dash. You got Superman in a holiday sweater, Wonder Woman with the string light lasso. Batman is Ebenezer Scrooge, and then you got the two that I have. I think those popped out. Those could look nice on one of the entertainment centers in the house. I'll probably break out my my Star Wars holiday ones and put those out on the entertainment center downstairs.
I only have one or two of those. I need to get the rest of them. And
I got two Yodas. I have Yodas with two different style eyes. One where he has eyelids and one where he doesn't.
Well, I know with the Vader, there's two different Vaders too.
Yeah, there's the glow-in-the-dark Chase one.
And I would just be happy picking that up.
I like it because the candy cane's the saber. I thought that was a really cool idea.
So, well, I guess that's about everything for this week. Unless you got any more Star Wars news or anything to talk about.
No.
I have stuff that's supposed to be coming from Entertainment Earth. It was supposed to be here already, and it's still in California. So
I do believe I'm going to start my rewatch of The Mandalorian, since it's going to be here in what, little under 3 weeks.
okay. Have you only watched the one time?
No, I've watched it all the way through like 3 or 4 times.
Okay, yeah, I've I watched each episode a bunch of times when they came out, and then after they all came out, I watched it through like a movie, 4-hour movie or whatever. Then I didn't watch it for a long time, and then I would just have it on in the background while I was doing, whatever. And I sat down and I watched it again, probably a couple weeks ago, and I've had it on now a couple times. See, so like here's my issue. If I'm doing something here or whatever, my TV's over here, so I have to go like this to watch it or look at it, which isn't good for streaming on Live It, isn't good for playing video games, isn't good for talking to people on the computer. If I had it here, that would be a little better. I mean, it would still not be as good because, well, depending on how I'm sitting. If I'm sitting like this, I'd have to be like that. But if I'm relaxing, this would be okay then. So,
right.
But that's where I was thinking, like, maybe I should get a monitor. And then, do I want one monitor? Do I want 2 monitors? Do I want to do? I don't have a 4K screen on my computer. Do I want to bypass the screen on my computer while I'm at my desk and use the 2 screens, on 4K monitors? And, just all these millions of thoughts on what to do. And it's like, dude, I might as well just buy a fucking 48-inch TV or whatever for $300 right now on Amazon Prime when it's on sale, and put it there and have a huge TV. And that way, when I'm playing video games, boom, there you go. A 4K TV hooked up to the, computer is going to be just as good as, well, not as good as the, monitors, but still, it's like, you're saving so much more money then, because even then it's expensive.
Right.
But if anybody wants to give me any advice that they have on computer monitors and things like that, feel free to let me know.
I'm just using a 32-inch smart TV right now.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I'm saying. I just made up that size and the price. But I mean, if you look at Amazon right now, there's one for $200, one for $300, one for $400, and it's like, I don't even know what the sizes are, but it's like, I don't know, 28, 40, 55. So like huge, big TVs. Not huge, big, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, 10 years ago, those would be 3 times the price on sale and whatever. But all right. Everyone, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. That's about it for the Star Wars for today. Come on Patreon. We're gonna get into some more Patreon content too. Get those people in there happy. Keep some people in there. Get some people in there. Get some stickers made up. Do the thing that we do. And you already know what me and Kyle are going to be talking about. That's not a big deal. Just talk about sociopaths and whatnot. With that, that's a good day. May the force be with you. Always. Always.